Hello, it is Halloween in a week. This is my Super Bowl and I'm very excited about it. So let's make some Halloween costumes. I'm recovering from a cold, hence why I sound like this. But the first costume I'm going to be making is a Emily the Corpse Bride dress. This is a sketch. I actually made an Emily the Corpse Bride dress 3 years ago. My first ever client when I moved to London wanted one for a photo shoot. Her name is Linda Blacker. This is the photo we ended up with. She does a lot of like Photoshop work, so I made her the base dress and she worked her magic, so that was really fun. So the fact that I'm doing this 3 years later is really exciting. One of my biggest dreams and goals in life is to make dresses for artists to wear on stage in concerts and in music videos. So I reached out to my friend Liana, who we went to uni together. She's on tour at the moment, which is really exciting, and she's doing a show at Lafayette, and I said, can I please make her dress? And she said yes. So we're gonna make kind of like a couture version of Emily the Corpse Bride's dress. I say couture because I want to add a lot of ruffles, and it's gonna look like a jumbled up wedding dress, and I'm very excited about it. I love having creative control over stuff. So here is the general plan. I have a basic bodice pattern that I use. So this is basic bodice. It just has this center front, side front, and back piece, really quickly draped on a little yoke. I wanted the yoke to be uneven, and I think originally the bit that goes down is actually in the middle, and I think when I made it 3 years ago I also made it like slightly more for it to fall like around here, but I wanted to do it on the side this time around to change things up. So this is the front bit, the other front piece, so it will dip on the side, then come up a lot higher on the other side. It's gonna have many layers of fabric. The base layer is a polyester satin, but it's quite thick, so whenever I'm making anything that I want like a little bit of structure with, I always use this one. I got all my fabric from Ultimate Crafts in Camden Town. I layered it with this really basic base. This is actually what I used 3 years ago as well. Like I remember buying this fabric specifically. So I've got that, and then found this lace, and I'm basically gonna use kind of like the trim on the top and hopefully at the bottom of the yokes as well, and then like all these little flowers I think are gonna make really cute appliques. It's a little bit tricky in terms of order. Cut everything out for now, and I have to piece some of the pieces together, but I have to like do the applique. So we're gonna go with that, and I'm also gonna show you all the other fabrics I have. If I can give you guys a price of everything, that might be useful. This comes in like a creamier white and also like a white, so I wanted to go with like a cool tone for everything, so this is a white. This was £7.95. I got 1.5 meters. This was £1.95, so I got 5 meters because I just thought I'm just gonna do ruffles and ruffles and ruffles. I do have a lot of leftover white fabric from just like different projects, so a lot of it will be like things that are kind of put together. This white lace was £3.95 and I got 2 meters of that. The nice lace was £6.95 and I got 1 meter of that. Get my little receipt. The rest of these are fabric that I got for another costume, which we will get to in a moment. I just gotta pin and make. The first order, I'm going to match every single layer of this lace to its corresponding fabric piece, and I'm gonna have to base stitch everything around the edge. Base stitching always feels like it's going to take forever, but because you're using a really loose stitch, it actually takes like maybe a minute per piece. So I've got center front, 2 side, and then 2 back. So I've got 5 pieces just for the top, and then 4 pieces for the yokes. It's actually just like about 9 minutes, so it feels like a really big task, but it usually isn't. And I'm actually gonna iron some of these. The thing about lace is that you can't find notches very easily. This is a notch. Because there's already like a lot of holes, it's really difficult to see. I've always just wanted to be like the kind of designer and like content creator that like every Christmas you can expect a dress from me, at every Halloween you can expect something from me, and it's just kind of felt hard to keep up. This year I'm really happy that I'm doing this. I will always prioritize client work over like my own stuff. If I'm not feeling like making something, I won't, but if a client's like, hey, I want you to make this, or if like, I've promised someone to make them something, then obviously I will make an effort to do that. Okay. Okay, we have made some progress. I ended up cutting some of the overlay lace on it, and I really like the dimension that it gives. You can see there's like the regular lace, and then like underneath it there's just like, it's just a little extra something. Was any of this necessary? No, it's not going to show up in photos, it's not going to show up anywhere, but I think it's adds like a really nice touch. And then I've just added the panels that I want to add onto each of them. I'm going to make them overlay, so this one is going to go down and this one is going to go over, and I'm just really hoping that it blends in really seamlessly. This is pretty much what it looks like. This looks ridiculous. I promise you it's going to look so great in the end. But yeah, like this, with one of the sides coming down and the other one not doing that. So yeah, I just want to tack down all of this lace so that it lays flat, and then I'm gonna give it some straps. I've been doing 1-inch straps, and I think I want to have them reversible, so they can either be 1-inch straps, like hold everything together. I think I'm gonna bone this, but if I don't do that, they can also fall off, kind of like my Love Story corset top has like straps that fall off, so it can both be functional and also be just pretty. And then I'm just gonna go ham with creating layers and layers and layers of skirt with all the different fabrics. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, but let's see how it goes. I've just got like loads of fabrics to like play around with. I really wanted to make it feel like a disheveled skirt, and I want to use like just rows of lace. Look how pretty my room is. She's so pretty. Now I've also pinned together the lining so that can be sewn. It looks like nothing right now, but I tend to be like, let me just put in the lining, but the lining you can only put in once you've done like all of your appliques and all of your sewing and everything. So hello, it is day 2. Here's what we've got. So yesterday we finished off with the bodice. She's looking cute. Today my focus is just making layers and layers of just skirts. I'm tempted to just kind of do it, but I'm a little bit worried that it's all gonna get lost, and I have to be very careful with like the layering. So I'm just gonna go bottom, like the base one to the top one, and just kind of play around with what works. I've got a lot of ruffles. I have been serging all the edges together and then using my gathering foot or the gathering on my serger to gather all of these ruffles. I'm not making a loop like I usually do. I usually make a loop and then sew it onto a skirt, but because I can't really be bothered to measure like each little skirt hem, I've just been playing it by ear. This is the first skirt that we've got. This is going to be the base layer, and I'm just gonna keep adding skirts, but they're gonna be a little bit shorter every single time, and it's just gonna allow like the bottom satin to peek through. And then I think the next one's gonna be a blue one. I kind of want like a see-through one to be on there. I don't know, a lot of the layers are see-through, and I didn't want the base one to be see-through, so the base one is not see-through. The only thing is that I have to sew on the base one on the last, so instead of having like layer 1 and then layer 2 on top and then layer 3 on top, sew into the bodice, you have to sew layer 3 to the bodice first. I have to finish layer 3 before I can sew everything together, so it's a little bit annoying. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this guy to my dress form, and I'm just going to layer the next part on top. Let's do that. Liana's show is tomorrow. This is everything that I have so far. The bodice is made. I've added the black little hole. There's meant to be her ribcage in it, and what I'm going to do is make a string of pearls and attach it to the inside. It's going to happen at the very end because I don't want to be sewing with like pearls on the dress. Really excited for that detail. I'm trying to do the last layer of the skirt and I'm having a really hard time knowing kind of like the levels of it. The last fabric that I'm using is relatively see-through but not enough, and I basically wanted to have something that was see-through because I want all the layers like to show, but I'm just having a hard time finding a good balance. So I'm trying different things, taking photos, and I'm just gonna see how it goes. There's very little time left until the dress has to be done, so enjoy the montage. I'll see you at Lafayette. Because when the sunshine will shine together. She's done. Oh my goodness.